Moving on, still on church, in a bold and controversial move, the Church of Nigeria, the Anglican Communion, has cut ties with the church in Wales following the election of Reverend Cherry Vann, an openly lesbian cleric, as Archbishop. Now, at a high-level legal conference in Abuja, Nigeria's Anglican primate, Most Reverend Dr. Henry Ndukuba, didn't mince his words. He described the development as a clear departure from biblical truth, insisting that the Nigerian church will not align with what it views as moral compromise within the global Anglican Communion. But this is not the first time the Church of Nigeria has taken such a stand. Back in 2003, it also rejected relations with the U.S. Episcopal Church after it consecrated a gay bishop. And now, with the Wales decision, Nigeria is once again drawing a hard line, declaring its utmost refusal to recognize Vann's leadership and reaffirming its commitment to what it calls scriptural orthodoxy. Of course, this move has drawn both applause and criticism, but one thing is clear: Nigeria's Anglican leadership is making it known that, in their view, culture must not override doctrine. This is very interesting. The church is increasingly grappling with societal change and liberal views, and how they will choose to stand steadfast in the face of doctrine will be interesting to watch in the coming years. Let's take a look at social media. James Berkeley Clark says, where does it end? Do we just allow people to alter the Bible to fit in with their latest perversions? What's next? Child marriage is allowed? It's becoming the devil's playground in these churches. We'll take one more submission. Jasper says, beautiful, absolute respect to the church. They made the best decision for the sanctity of the faith and biblical standards. Kudos to the officials of Church of God, Nigeria. But team, I want to focus on this story of the Anglican Church. How does the church plan on, how should they grapple with the cultural and the changes that we're seeing in terms of sexuality and identity politics while staying true to doctrine? Or should they not even concern themselves with all of this in the first place? I have to say I commend the Anglican Church for taking this hardline stance. And
I agree with you completely. In fact, that's the only story I told myself, look, this is what you're going to comment on. Having a gay bishop, a gay priest, and all that is something we cannot just accept in Nigeria. In fact, most countries in Africa, if not all of Africa, by distancing themselves, they have made it very clear. They have made their stance very clear, and I'm so proud that it's coming from Nigeria.
Well, I'll also touch on that story. It shows that they are aligning with what the scripture is about. Their stance is their stance. What Christ has said is what they are choosing to follow as it is. Whatever the compromise, of course, we know that the end of the times are here, and these are the things we'll be seeing. You need to decide where you belong, and they have decided where they belong.
Simple.
Exactly, and I love the fact that, they are standing by what, they're saying. God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah because of this. Gayism and lesbianism is not something that we even accept, as a Christian. So I'm happy that they dissociated themselves from it.
Yes, talk about the gay church and all of that. I love the fact that Nigeria has taken a stance, and I also believe that he's speaking for the rest of the churches, because I do not know what book they have read, what version of the Bible they've read it. They decide to, like, okay, we need to have our own, lesbian or gay, whatever it is I want to call it, because any human that is, born of a woman should not even think in that direction. It shows something is wrong somewhere. That's one thing democracy does. In one of the evils, you ask for it, it gives it to you.